Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Jazzy C After Dark. I'm your girl, your host, Jazzy C. Now, before we get started, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit that button at the bottom of the screen, guys, for all the notifications. You don't want to miss an episode. I promise you don't. It's getting juicier. It's getting better. You guys can tell that I'm coming out of my shell, and I really do appreciate it. And while we're on it, I want to give a big thank you, big kisses. I wish I could hug and kiss all of you through the screen, but this is just my kiss right to you guys for subscribing to my page. I hit a milestone. I got the notification. I rolled over and I was like, yay! So thank you. I really do appreciate it. Keep sharing, keep liking, keep subscribing all over social media. Let the world know that I am here, Jazzy C After Dark. This episode will be a review recap of Married at First Sight. So I know you guys, last week after they did the decision day and they said that who they were going to stay with and we pretty much knew on who was going to stay with and who wasn't. The surprise couple was Marilyn and Gil. They did stay together. Start from the top, which I always do, is my black couple. Well, they're not a couple anymore. We know that. They're still not. The review episode, Kay. Now, just let it go. She clowning. One minute she up high, the next minute she down low. Like, that's kind of like bipolar-ish, but, whatever. I'm not a doctor, I can't diagnose that. She gave her little confessional to the therapist and then she left stage and then here he come. She's sitting right there looking at the camera what he's saying on the other side, and she was supposed to stay her ass in the other room and she wasn't liking what he was saying. So she gets up and goes into the confessional with him to try to tell him something, a thing or two. My thing is, Kay, this is exactly what people are talking about. Girl, just let it go. If this man want to sit up here and say that you crazy and that you 1 minute you this way, the next minute, just let him say it. Just let him say it. What? That's an example of what he's talking about and what you don't want people to think about you. Now, I was on your side, Kay, because us black women, we have to stick together generally, right? But you making it so difficult. Just let it go. Let that boy tell his side of the story. Just go on. You're getting a divorce, banging an Asian girl, so just let it go. That's how he feel. You told your story, so let it go. Everybody saying that you kind of cuckoo. Can we move on? Please. I wanted to move on. Brett and Ryan, I guess, had to bring I don't know if she his big sister or his little sister. I think she might be the big sister because he just was like timid and cowardly, like the fucking lion in the corner. I don't know. And then the sister was over there talking about how Brett was talking to somebody else during the marriage. I'm sorry, but this was 6 weeks. Y'all had 2 more weeks left. Yeah, she was wrong for putting you out on blast. She tried to say that she wasn't talking to nobody else. Ooh, but I don't think so, Brett. You turn red as this. You turn red as this. So for somebody who's not doing something and is innocent as what you claim to be, then you wouldn't have turned as red as you did. I still am on your side because he was an asshole to you generally, like standoffish, the emotional. He was, kind of had up that wall from the beginning. So you was probably tired of bust down that brick wall. And that's just what happened. But you didn't have to put him on blast in front of national TV, especially if you was messing around with somebody else. Okay, so that's that. Jose and Rachel. They did Jose and Rachel. They broke up. They broke up! I don't like to root for people, the demise of people, but I kind of was rooting for that because she was the same thing that I basically said. He is just an ass. He too aggressive. He too controlling. He was cussing her out still, and she was still. I don't even know. That's the most. We can't say certain things on YouTube, but y'all know that's emotional A, and don't nobody need to. That's sometimes just as worse as physical A. Now you fill in the blank. I'm glad that Rachel, stood up on her own 2 feet and said, well, I don't need him to pay my bills. I could pay my own bills. Power to you, girl. Now, like I said, you should have stayed for a year. You might as well let him pay for something. As much as he was putting you through, you should have let him pay for something. But, we live and learn. I guess your freedom is way more important and peace of mind is way more important than getting your bills paid. Which leads me to the last couple who was featured first, Mirla and Gil. Oh, now, I was holding back on doing this only because I just felt that I was kind of mad at Mirla. She left Gil. She said that she was only with him for 14 days after the decision day. And she decided in herself that she was not going to, sacrifice. She wasn't going to lower herself. And we all know that Mirla, with the money is right. She makes way more. Gil is, only makes 60,000 up to, and she's making 200,000. So it's a big age, not age, but it's a big wealth gap, right? And she just was like, beyond that, he's not the man for me, and first, like I said, I was mad at her. I was like, man, how could you? He's a good man. He's got a job. He wants children. He wants the family life. All of that. Then, y'all have family overseas. So it's not like y'all wouldn't be doing a lot of traveling. She just was like, no, like his personality, it goes deeper than that. Like, yeah, he want all of those things, and I do too. But certain things that she wasn't willing to sacrifice, and whatever those things, whatever those reasons may be, those are her own to decide. What the takeaway that I got from it is she wasn't willing to sacrifice. How many times, ladies or men, right? How many times do we sacrifice? Because we want that warm body next to us, right? And thinking about it, I admire Mirla. I really do. Like, she stood on her own. She stood her ground. And she said, I'm not going to sacrifice. I like the finer things in life. Gil doesn't. Spend my money however I want to and should. Because it's hers. And Gil doesn't. These are my type of spending habits. And this makes me feel good as a woman. And these are things that Gil was not willing to give up. Kudos to you, girl. Once you level up, once your levels start leveling up and you start moving on and you start progressing in life doing certain things, sometimes it doesn't matter if you're from the same neighborhood, same background or not. Sometimes, we think that those type of people are what's best for us, but sometimes they're not. Just look at Mirla. I mean, and she's not the only, married person that I talked to regarding this. So many of the married people, well, I talked to about 3. Many of them, out of the 3, all 3 of them say, I sacrifice. And that is something that I should not have done. Now they're regretting the sacrifices that they made. Years later, instead of, standing your ground, saying, this is not what I want in my mate. And good for her. That really touched me because I'm like, no, she should, give up her wants and some of her needs, and she's being too up here, right? She's being too much up here, and she should come down a little bit. But why? He should bring his ass up if he want a woman like her. She should not have to come down off of her pedestal, her throne, address her crown for her mate in any way. She shouldn't have to tip her crown to her mate in order for her mate to feel better. Whether that's a man or a woman. A man shouldn't have to tip his crown for a woman to feel more of a woman. Like, she should already come with that. Mirla, you right. You so right. This isn't the first, I think I said this already, but this isn't the first reality show that Gil has been on. Telemundo TV. Like, when I Google his name, Telemundo TV comes up. Maybe he wasn't necessarily there for what he claimed to be as well. You know, and he just trying to make Mirla feel like the bad person. I don't know, but I thank you, Mirla. You really made me think you better that bar is raised. Now you got to come raise that bar, because we raising bars around here. Anyways, so that's my thoughts on Married at First Sight review part 1. Part 2 will be on next week. You guys know that I will still be reporting it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit that button at the bottom of the screen for the notifications, and leave some kisses in my comments. Let me know what you think.